Scott Hub Media. A couple months ago, well, I guess about a month ago now, I got a great conversation with both Linda and Carly about programs that they do for Grand River Community Health Center. I had no clue, folks. The amount of work these folks are doing is incredible. The diversity in the programs, especially, kind of blew me away. I didn't realize all this was going on over in Brantford, which helps Haldimand Norfolk as well, and Brantford. So, Linda, you're the executive director. Can you give me a little bit of insight about? You guys have been around since what, 2005? I want to guess around there. But what's going on? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so we are a community health center, and we are just coming up on our 15th anniversary here in Brantford. So we're one of about 80 community health centers in the province. And community health centers are a little bit of a different primary care model than you might have experienced, such as other models would be family health teams and family health groups, or just, your solo practice physician clinic. So we are a community health center. We provide primary care, but we have a specialty in looking at communities and serving people that have more complex needs, providing wraparound services, so a range of supports to individuals, and we have a strong focus on health promotion. So it's a little bit of a different model. We have salaried staff, and we do roster clients to our primary care program, but have a range of community programs where we try to provide services to people who may have barriers to accessing care, or have they fall into a gap in the community for a service. So Grand River Community Health Center has established a strong presence in downtown Brantford, providing a range of services to clients here. And about 9 years ago, we embarked on a partnership with Norfolk Family Health Team to provide some primary care clinics for international agricultural workers. So this is an example of how we've reached out into the community to provide services to a group of people that did not have access to
I was,
care.
yeah, I was so impressed with the diversity of your programs. Like, from seniors to folks with, just health issues. Like, it was all across the board. And the commentary that I saw in the video there was really great to hear the people talking about the importance of you guys to the community, which I thought, really helps step it up and show the relevance. And how did you get involved in this field? Like, give me a little bit of your background. Is this something you pursued since school, or is it?
Hmm. Um, yes and no. I started off actually in the hospital sector,
Okay.
and then decided when I had experienced working in an outreach capacity at that hospital with community groups and engaged in community partnerships, how much the importance of engagement in the community creates success and provides other supports for individuals. So then got involved in a committee that was establishing a new community health center. So that's where I got exposed to this model. And for me, it just really made sense of having a model that doesn't just look at medical care, it looks at wellness, it looks at all of the factors that affect our health, because we know it's not just access to a family doctor or a nurse practitioner, although those are really important services. It's many other factors in our lives that impact our health. And for me, I just really wanted to be part of something that was proactive, that was community based. And this model just really it fits so well with my own values. And so I originally worked at another community health center for 15 years before coming to Brantford and Grand River Community Health Center.
It deals with the whole person, right? That's what I loved
Exactly.
about it. There's so many different capacities that you could help one individual to get back on their feet or to keep them strong on their feet. And I thought that's a great job for you guys. We're taking it away from Carly. It's her show today. We got to talk to Carly. So, Carly, what do you do exactly? Tell me all about your role here.
So I'm the program manager for the International Agricultural Workers Program. I coordinate the clinics and schedule staff and make sure that we provide accessible services to international workers and provide health services.
I couldn't believe I read the number. You guys help service 6,000 workers. That's just Haldimand, Norfolk and Brant, correct?
Correct.
Oh, that's incredible. That's like the size of Port Dover when you start thinking about it. That's great. And you guys are out on the road. Now you have your service team out of Delhi, correct? Is that where they come into this?
We have two permanent locations, one in
Okay.
Simcoe and one in Delhi. And we also have two full service medical vans that visit farms on Wednesday evenings. Our medical van also sets up in locations in Brantford and Burford, where the workers go to shop on Friday evenings.
What kind of services do you guys provide then for the medical aspect of it?
A wide range
Okay.
of medical services, from primary medical care to disease and injury prevention. We have some mental health supports. Some of the common issues that are addressed are diabetes, like I said, disease prevention,
This must
injury.
yeah.
Sorry.
This must be a huge help to the farmers. Is it? Like they must be really open to seeing this and getting all the help from you guys they can get, because a healthy worker is a happy worker, right?
Absolutely.
And these folks that come and work too, they're here for what, 6, 7, 8 months sometimes, working on the farms, correct?
Yeah. I would say the majority of them are here on 8-month contracts, but
Okay.
some are on contracts up to 2 years.
And what's the feedback? Do you get some feedback from the folks that are working? Do you guys?
Yeah, they, one of our clients expressed that they appreciate the services that we provide, and that our staff take the time to really understand their illnesses, and you know, they're impressed with the wraparound services that we provide.
And do you guys got some events coming up or surrounding the workers? I know that you guys do a couple things every year. Can you give some details on that?
So every year we put on a health fair for the international agricultural workers in Simcoe. So the event takes place this year at the Legion on West Street on Friday, June the 28th, and the event runs from 5 until 9. We'll have a variety of partners attending, providing information about services that they can access locally. We provide a meal and door prizes. We've got a DJ, and lots of fun and games as well.
Great. And that's all for the workers. Linda, how did all this get started? Has this always been running, or did you guys start this program?
Yeah, it's very interesting, our path, actually, Dave. Thanks for asking. So we started off with a very small program. We got a little bit of money from the Ministry of Health back 9 years ago, and established a very strong partnership with Norfolk Family Health Team. We could only offer clinics on Friday nights when we started. We did Friday night clinics in Simcoe and in Brantford. And, we staffed these with locum physicians that were very giving of their time. And we did as much as possible at these evening clinics to serve as many workers. But when you have 6,000 workers and you have limited clinics, it became a game of efficiency, so to speak, because you didn't want to leave anybody without care. And we would see 20 to 25 workers in an evening clinic in 3 to 4 hours. So, it was addressing the primary concern. And we knew for many years that this was not enough, that people needed access to more comprehensive primary care. And so we did a proposal. We rewrote that proposal many times, did a lot of advocacy around this to get our program, more fully funded. COVID played a part in this. COVID was very, very difficult for international agricultural workers and farmers who were trying to keep their workers safe. It did shine a spotlight onto this program and the needs of people living in congregate settings. I do believe that spotlight helped to draw attention to our proposal, our cause, And thankfully, last year, we did receive expanded funding for this program. So that's when Carly was hired as a manager to lead this initiative. And we were able to ramp this up to provide full-time clinics for workers, many evenings of service. And what we have seen is we've been able to provide much more comprehensive primary care. We've been able to wrap services around workers that needed more care. For example, a new chronic disease diagnosis needs more than just one visit to the nurse practitioner. They need education, they need support, they need lots of follow-up care. So this program has really evolved over the last year. The ramp up was quick because we got funding in April and had to be operational quite quickly. But all in all, we made a huge impact even in our first year of this enhanced funding, seeing close to, 3,000 unique clients for primary care. So the program has gone through a significant change. And I really have to applaud our partners in Norfolk and our new partner that came along with this new enhanced funding, Haldimand Family Health Team. So they also have been involved in partnering to roll out services in Haldimand. And we have also had a lot of support from other community agencies that have stepped forward to, promote our services, to link people with our services. So overall, I'm really proud of the work that this program has done over the past year to reach out to this population in a very large geographical area.
And it must be like the doctors and the nurses that help, like they have full-time jobs and they're going above and beyond, correct?
Correct. Our physicians are locum that will help out with clinics. And yes, we could not do this without the goodwill of these folks that have stepped up.
Carly, what have you learned since you stepped into this role? I mean, it's a brand new job, and it sounds amazing, but I mean, you've probably seen some highs and lows, right? Just working in the field and helping folks out. Talk for a minute about that, will you?
Yeah, I've learned a lot about the importance of the work that the workers do when they come here, and to make sure that we're doing our best to make sure that they have the same access to healthcare as you or I. Um, I've learned from the physicians who give their time in their evenings, and the many translators that we have who support our clinics and come out, and it really helps, I think, make the workers feel at home to have somebody in person speaking their language and helping them understand our healthcare system and how everything works. I'm proud to be a part of this team.
I never even thought about that. The other part of this is these folks are working away from home for like 6 to 8 months, like you said. There's that emotional, there's a lot of different things going on there, and you guys are helping sort of, like you said, make them feel comfortable. They're here, welcome them, and there's lots of work that has to get done, and they're helping us get it done, which is important. It's critical.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add today, Linda? Because this is I'm going to get you back at some point, Linda, because now that I saw everything else you're doing, you and I got to talk. But this is such a great program, and I'm so glad that it got the funding, because obviously, like you said, you're just being nickel and dime. You're not getting the full. You're not being able to do the best job you can do, were you?
Yeah, I think that one of the parts of our process that has given us insight and given us ideas for how to improve our services is engaging the workers themselves in what's important to them and how we can implement services to support them. So you did talk a little bit about the mental health needs of workers, Dave. And that is something that we always consider in our clinics. It's something that can be easily overlooked. And by engaging workers, we've been able to ask questions of workers that are just really introductory questions to get a sense of how they're doing in Canada. We really try to talk with folks in our clinics privately to see, if they're coping and if there's anything we can do to support them, and providing some of those mental health supports for those that need it. Last year at our International Agricultural Worker Fair, the workers had provided a lot of feedback around what they'd like to see at a fair this year. And that was because of Carly's great work on how we could engage them and get some feedback. And one thing that they commonly said was, the information is really great, learning about the services in the community, but they really wanted more social interaction.
Oh,
They often don't know when they come to the farm in Ontario, many of the other workers, or if any other workers on the farm. You might think that they would, but they are recruited and they may not know others. And they'd really like to get to know a few other workers when they're here and have a bit of a social outlet. So we took that feedback to heart. And Carly has been leading this health fair development, and there's going to be a lot of social interaction at the upcoming fair on June 28th. We want workers to have a fun time that's really good for mental wellness. There's going to be Caribbean music, and there's Caribbean food, and we're going to play some games and have some ways for interaction amongst workers, as well as, of course, providing information about health services and supports for workers. So I think that's a real learning for me, is just really engaging those workers and taking their feedback seriously and trying to make sure we're developing services that meet their needs.
and we forget the diversity of where they're coming from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're here and this is what we know. And they're coming from many different islands. Like you
Yes.
said, you're not going to know, it's a big world. So you're not going to know everybody. But I mean, the whole point is to have that socializing, that opportunity, right? To make friends and to have folks. And the other part that I always relate to, I know some farmers that have workers that come in every year and they're like family each way now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I think we're
Yes.
finally understanding that. My friends, they have friends in Jamaica now, right? Because that's where some of their workers were from, and they can go back and forth. And it's really cool to see that it becomes much more than a job. It becomes a community.
Absolutely. We see that every day.
That's great.
The farmers do often consider these workers family. We've seen them to go to great lengths to support these workers. And that's really also a part of mental wellness when we see this, that, it can be very scary for a worker who maybe this is their first year working in Canada, and they come here and maybe they haven't been screened for many years in their home country. And we do some, health screening, and they have a new diagnosis. And there's a lot of pieces, as you know, when you're diagnosed with something new, there's appointments, and you don't want that to impact your work. And it's difficult sometimes to make all these appointments work. And we've often seen farmers really support the workers and make sure they get what they need.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Carly, thanks for doing this today. Linda, I really appreciate it. Unless you guys got anything else to add, we can wrap it up. But send me some info. We'll put it at the end of the video so folks can see what's coming up for events and they can get involved with you guys. But thank you for taking the time today. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Dave.